your corrections membership wants its own corrections-only collective agreement. On August 20th, it was funded by some locals. We had an all presidents meeting in Toronto that involved representatives from all institutions, P&P, YO P&P, adult P&P. Throughout that meeting, it was unanimous, if I understand correctly, what the definition of a Corr Only should look like and what we're looking for. Here are the minutes.
Everyone from your division, look around this table and take notes. There we go. Take notes.
One more comment. The Premier of Ontario, Kathleen Wynne, met with Greg Arnold sometime during the summer. It was an audio tape conversation, and she was aware that it was audio tape. And she herself, in that conversation, made it clear that she is open and willing to provide us with our own collective agreement. And in that audio tape, she made it also specifically clear that Smokey Thomas, yourself, is against it.
Sure! Hey, we're the tail that wags the play that day! Play that day! Play that day!
We're not going away.
Hey, something!
Let him
speak! Let him speak!
Thank you. First off, I'm not against it. Whether you believe that or not, I'm not.
Stand up! Stand up! We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Bring it back, come on.
I got fucking arthritis in my knees, bro. Are you going to listen or what?
Yes!
All right.
We want you to listen up!
He let us speak. He gave us the floor. So let's at least let him speak.
Absolutely.
Please.
Thanks, folks. Appreciate it. Anyway, I am not against a corrections-only agreement. What the problem is nobody's ever said, well,
100%. Let him finish, guys, please.
Whenever I ask what a corrections-only unit looks like, if there's 50 people in the room, I get 50 different ideas. The idea of a group to look at it started before that board meeting, that convention. It was not in reaction to anything. It was in reaction to corrections board members around the table here saying to us, we need a process, we need to develop a process. That's what that was. Is it slow? Yes. But we hit the summertime, people get vacation. It is going to ramp up again. Please, I'm going to make you some offers here. It's going to ramp up again. I get the membership, the Merck team's there, right? So what I'm going to offer is for this group to pick 4 people. However you want to do it, I would really like Chris to be on it, because I know Chris, we can talk, we've had good conversations, right? So think about that. 4 people to sit on committee funded by head office. Some of the work is going to be by teleconference, right? So so it won't take you away from home unnecessarily, too much. There'll be some face to face. It is not as simple an issue as people think. I get emails from all interests in this. So there are RNs that say, I don't want to be in it.
RPNs too,
No, let me finish, please. Some do, some don't. Maintenance staff, all those people. So how do we resolve all those issues?
Let us vote.
Let him finish. Please let him finish.
But it doesn't just affect you. Nobody has said to me, right, what is the Corr Only? Does that just mean officers?
3 years ago.
No, but I get other opinions that are just as strongly voiced as yours. That they want everybody inside the walls in.
Did they show up here like we did?
Actually, some have. But they don't have the numbers that you have. So they are feeling overwhelmed. So my job...
We're the tail that wags the dog, right? Pretty sure.
So, well, if that's what you want to be, fine. But, there is a process to get it done. It's not that simple. Regardless of what Kathleen Wynne says, I have never said to her or anyone in the government I'm against it. What I've always said is, it's got to be done in a thoughtful process so you do not have unintended consequences. I've had officers say to me, look it, I want to be a probation officer someday. I'm going to school on the side, or I want to be a health and safety inspector or an enforcement officer at MTO. You know, I got a BA already from degree from college. I'm working on getting the other stuff. In a Corr Only collective agreement, the government's position is it shuts that door. You won't be able to transfer into those jobs. So there are many, many questions to be answered. Come on.
We're voting no until it happens.
It's been going on for years. We don't want to leave. It's all bullshit. Give us our Corr Only.
I'm trying to. Your corrections bargaining team has a list of things.
Ain't no bread boss. Our corrections bargaining team tells us to go fuck ourselves.
Well, they don't answer
3 years ago,
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know why you're saying, Gord.
what it would look like. They won't listen to anybody.
Expert.
You're one of the big
Bottom line is we need to vote on this.
What's OPSEU stance on essential services agreements?
You made the decision to be all out. I support that.
What's OPSEU stance on essential service agreements? Do they support them or not?
How do you mean? That's the law. We have
In 2004, OPSEU came out and said they do not support essential service agreements. However, it's the law.
Yes.
But now we have a charter.
Well, we had the lawyer.
The Supreme Court came out.
So let me address. Let me speak. We had the lawyer here from Saskatchewan that was involved in that charter challenge. It's not clear, and he said it's not.
So challenge it to make it clear.
Challenge it. Shut up. Let me finish.
Challenge it.
Now listen, that charter challenge took years, right? All I can do is rely on the advice of lawyers.
Decisions are already been made. Lawyer that you paid.
I'm trying to give you the answer.
That's a biased opinion.
It's no secret that the one that went before the Supreme Court was several years to get there. You don't get there in 6 months.
And we won't go until we get what we want.
Yes, and I agree. If you'd let me finish, I'll tell you what's in the hopper. Part of the working group is to look at, to define, to survey the membership, all the membership involved. Right? Because what we don't want to do is go to the government and say, here's what we want. And then find out that that's not what 75% of the division wants.
3 years late.
We're trying to be helpful. All I'm trying to say is it's not that simple. I'm trying to
Stop.
listen.
Smokey, there was supposed to be an ad hoc committee set up to do the work on the break in August. It never happened.
Well, excuse me, the corrections team spent 2 weeks on it. Our staff have
We haven't even been told, like you said, who's on the team.
Can I finish? You're saying they didn't do the work. They did.
Doesn't want to take the summer off. Let's hear
We had a meeting on August 20th that was not saying what OPSEU. We have a definition.
Hold on a second.
We have a definition for a Corr only. It's in the minutes that were presented to you.
Yeah, well,
The meeting
fine,
that you
thank
guys
you.
keep
First
saying was
time
an
I've seen them.
unsanctioned meeting because it just is deflection after deflection to push
Those are
this
just the
issue.
minutes of-
We want a Corr only. Deal with the ESAs and that later. We want a Corr only agreement. That's what we want.
Yeah, but how do I make it end?
Smokey!
No, hang on.
Vice chair sitting at the table.
Smokey!
Tell him.
You say that this is a lengthy process. I understand
No,
that.
no, no.
Let me talk.
No.
This process started in 1979.
You're here.
All right.
79 correctional officers, let me finish now. Correctional officers walked off the job in an illegal strike. The reason for that was a Corr only agreement. 1979. I actually remember it. My father was one of those correctional officers that walked off. 3 years ago, we created a committee. 3 years ago, after the current collective agreement that we're in, to look at a Corr only agreement. Not one piece of information came out of that committee. Corrections was very loud about what they wanted. At the last convention, all of a sudden something came from the executive board that we're going to create another committee to look at what a Corr only agreement is. That's great. Now today, you just offered us a third committee.
No, I
to
did
look
not
at.
be a
You
third
just said
committee. No.
you'll invite 4 people.
No.
Let me finish.
To add to the committee, not
Great. So we'll add.
not-
So we're going to add to the committee now. My point is, Smokey, my point is, I understand that you have to do what's best for all of OPSEU, the OPS, the BPS, the CAT. I understand that.
And you.
And us. You're not doing what's best for us. Hold on a second, we have members on, and yes, I'm not going to try and hide it. We have members on our bargaining team whose responsibility is to do what's the best for all of OPSEU, the OPS, the BPS, CAT, everybody. When you're wearing the hat of the co-chair of the Corrections Division, you're supposed to do what the Corrections Division I had a conversation with Mr. Longy at convention. What I said, what you don't seem to understand is there's things that I disagree with my members with. My members want binding arbitration. I have conversations with them every day. I don't want binding arbitration, but that's what my members tell me to advocate for, so I will. I had this conversation with Mr. Longy, and he told me, and I quote, I wasn't elected to do what you tell me to do. I was elected to make the decisions for you.
There's about 5. There's about 5 questions in there, so let me go back.
4 statements to question.
All right,
Only
well,
looking out for yourself.
but need a response. So back in '79, I remember that fight too. I was active in the union.
We lost that one.
No, but listen. Just a little history lesson for you. When the right to strike came to this executive board, I lobbied against it and voted against it, as did Brother Ron Elliott. We're your 2 longest
Well, you
serving
seem
board
to have
members.
embraced it now.
In any event, so I was opposed then, I'm still opposed now, but it's the policy of the union, I'm bound to uphold the policy of the union. But I want to go back, I'm not trying to create a 3rd committee, I'm trying to offer you 4 seats on the current committee, to keep it moving, to do what you're doing, to agitate, to make sure it gets done, to make sure it gets done.
We want 4 members that you in.
That's what happened.
The ones that you are now.
But
Not the 4 that are out there already.
that's what I offered, but you keep shouting me down. So what I said was your group picks, the Corr Only group picks the 4.
How about your
people on
group gives
that.
us a Corr Only agreement? We got the
I can't listen. If I had the power that you think I have, you'd have your Corr Only agreement already. I'm not that powerful.
Sure we would. I got a quote for you.
All right,
Smokey.
So our Merck members, before the last election, the Corrections Division will eat their own. They have forever and will always. Right? Did you not say that?
I don't know. I can't remember.
You did say that.
No, but I want to go back to
Putting 4 people on the committee that you're going to sit and listen. We have this with our employer all the time.
Well, how many
Let's
do
sit
you
down and
want?
listen to what you have to say, and then we're going to go
No,
on and do what we want
no.
anyway.
It's all fucking game.
Let me-
Get done with
Hey,
it.
then we'll get you zeros for the next 20 years.
No more tomorrow.
Let me address that point. The 4 are actual voting members of the committee. No. The staff don't get the vote. So the RVPs are on that committee. There's 7 of them, so I'll give you 7 seats. So it's equal, right? And then, no, in the event, is that fair enough? I'm trying to help you move forward. If you don't want it, just say so, right?
Can I test the table? Can I test the table?
Test the
Executive
table.
board members, anybody here in favor of a Corr Only agreement? Raise your hand. Wonder why we have no faith.
Not one person.
Board raised their hands, and none of them were for corrections. Who are they representing?
Next time,
Who are they representing? Not the membership.
Listen, I am speaking on behalf of the executive board, and they are all in favor of Corr Only agreement.
Not one hand. Not one.
What do you want to do?
Yes, sir. Come on, a round of applause for
No,
Corr
okay.
Only.
It's the Corr Only group, though, right? Is there 7 there that?
I get 7. I get 700. I get 700 for the committee.
But the committee of 700 never worked, right? But I want to hear, because all I hear from your side is what people say about me on Twitter. So, you know what I mean? But I don't know the definition of Corr Only. So that's what I really wanted. Okay. So what I want,
Whether you're for or against Corr Only, the issue is not whether you're for or against Corr Only, it's what does that mean? And I need to know what that means before I can say. So I just wanted to be clear. I just wanted to be clear that when I did not raise my hand, that doesn't mean that I may not be in favor of the right proposal. I haven't seen a proposal.
Grab the minutes.
You do, Moses. Well, no, but I said to the premier, she lies, just so you know. I know. Roxanne and Gordy were with me when we went into New Year's Levy. So I raised that. I raised the 4 things we raised. I said, I'm not opposed to Corr Only. What I don't want you to do is get fucked by them in the process.
Okay, what I've got the minutes presented to Smokey from the August 20th President's meeting. We defined a starting point. Hold on! It's not for him, it's for the board. They wanted to hear it. Discussion regarding definition of corrections only and the need for clear definition moving forward. So each president is presenting the same information to its members. Furthermore, the same definition can be presented to the employer. The following definition was put forward for discussion. Current Central Unified Corrections Agreement is copied article for article and is the basis of our new collective agreement. All core and appendix core articles, MOUs, and letters of understanding are renewed and apply to the new collective agreement. 2. The new collective agreement applies to its members that are currently under the corrections umbrella. 3. A letter of intent that clearly states we are giving up nothing with the creation of this new collective agreement, that it is the intent of both parties to continue on a go-forward basis with all members in the new collective agreement as members of the Ontario Public Service, OPS, and this new collective agreement takes nothing away from these members. This was the starting point that we had discussed at the meeting to be voted on it president by president. The meeting that apparently to you is unsanctioned.
There's your answer.
Here.
We're not saying that it doesn't need to be built on. It does, right? We're not lawyers. But it's a starting point. We have a clear idea about what we want, and we have a clear idea about what we tell our memberships. And this is what a Corr Only start looks like for us.
think the Marines
We're not
put the RVPs on because
We are
of
not
interest
food and
and
snacks.
staff support.
We
So I
work
gotta go here.
with
So who has like a
criminals.
voting? Who has a vote on the?
No, we
We
just want to
work
come up. Well, we want
with
to come
people
up with a
who
process,
throw their own human waste
to
at us.
figure it out.
We
and
work
then
with people
that group
that
comes to
sometimes
ad
kill
hoc- the ad
themselves.
hoc committee.
We have to deal
Seven?
with that.
there's
Clerks
the Merc
don't have post-traumatic stress
four.
disorders.
plus the
Many of our staff do.
Right.
We are not
It's not
clerks.
envisioned that-
We are corrections
Oh, yeah,
officers.
yeah,
We
yeah,
want
yeah,
our
that
own.
one to get pieces forward.
Here,
here.
Not a voting ticket to get the process to get you to where you've got something to vote on.
Right, but the committee has to agree on something.
And they're pretty much agreed that they want to.
Put your hands up! Who works in Corr
Oh, and Tommy's on it too. Put him on it too.
On the committee, if there's an impasse on something, language, whatever, they all have a vote?
No, we would. It's not.
Come on!
This, the first step is to say,
Everybody,
so I can say to the
what do I
government,
do?
this
What
is
do
the
I do,
process
Sean?
we're employing.
What do I
Give us
do?
some language here that once we do that process, that we sit down and then, so I asked, what I put the Tommy was, how about a letter of understanding and effective agreement that's enforceable, that binds the union in?
What do I do,
That would give
Sean?
you some comfort. Because
Nothing!
they will not, I'm telling you right now, what the government says, they will not do it. So, and then you gotta have them agree, because what they say is, well, we get 100 opinions of what it is. So part of that process is to narrow down to here's what it is. If it's officers only, great.
Again next week,
But
administration.
probation officers, some want to be with you guys, some don't because they're like the strength. So how do we say to those PPD guys, well, no, you're not there, right? So
Toronto South,
I personally believe the corrections only, the
have
officers who
officers
say we want
assaulted.
corrections only argument, I
We've
don't
had
support that. But it's when you want to start bringing in other
Officers
people,
with
they get to say.
post-traumatic stress. We've had
You know what I mean?
people
Sure, I
attacked,
agree
people
that they
threatened
have.
inside the
Absolutely.
institution and
So
outside
that,
the institution.
I'd love you to be
We're
part of the process
stonewalled
because we
on
do
a
that,
day-to-day
right?
basis.
And I don't go to that committee
chronically
every day. I don't want to get in
short
the way of it. So
I'm the front
what I
line
want
racing
them is the
that
process.
deals
I know,
with
I heard you guys
my
are doing a
managers-
survey of your own.
managers
Be
don't
interested
show
in the
up.
results, but
So
the
when I
government will
see
not consider
my work
that
team go and
as
say
a binding
that,
if you don't.
oh, it's because of
It's gotta
short
be done by
staffing.
the union.
I showed
set
up.
positions.
I showed up the week
If
of
we
Labor
would, I
Day.
would get
I
a
showed
meeting
up
with,
all 7 days.
if you wanted to.
Where were
I
my
can only go
managers?
before people
I
and
don't
meet
know.
with
Over a
with
hill.
the minister, right? But I could
Where's
get a meeting
my
with the minister.
Merc team? They don't
you
take
and
the
then
phone
Tommy
calls
and,
because they're
Monty.
screened. They're safe at
And
their
we go
barbecue
there.
up north.
So we can say the ads, because ads is not against it. Like he says, that what, because what he said to me, well, what would it matter to you?
And I
I
don't
said,
want to
well,
see
it
it
wouldn't,
get
because that's my
worse.
point.
Surprisingly,
You know,
prison's not a
I
happy
said,
place.
you might go a long way to
Time for
start
a change.
fixing some of the
We legally
problems in
have our
there
own
if they're not
agreement.
muddied
We
up
are
all the time by
professionals,
other issues.
just
Because
the
you
same
guys,
as
I agree, you
college
guys have horrendous
professors
problems.
and everybody
And I
else.
don't know,
Chad, not
I
asking
wouldn't
for
want to
anything
work in
that's
there.
really
I really
radical.
wouldn't.
We
So,
expect-
what I want
we
to
expect
offer
to
is,
change
I'm
in
an honest guy.
direction.
Chad, what happened
And
with
I'm
the
not trying to fuck
ombudsman's
each
report?
But it's
I was
so
supportive.
much noise and
That
shit.
fucked us right over, and what did our union
Because
do?
then you
Put
get
them
more-
on the
pushes
floor!
back on me.
What does that say to us?
Well,
What does it
I've asked
say,
him
Chad?
100 times. What does it mean?
Speak
Tell me
to
what
that.
you want, Monty. Tell me. He will not
I don't know
answer
if you
the-
guys are
I'll
aware,
send you the
Corr,
fucking
I'm sure
letters I
some of
sent.
you are, especially the
He
ones who
answers
are
all
from
the bullshit.
corrections.
You know,
But
so
when that
what
report
do I
came
do?
out,
He's elected, right?
that changed our jobs dramatically, and I can't even begin to explain how much it changed. My entire family's been in corrections my entire life. They can't even believe what goes on in the institutions now. That report got members fired, ended members' marriages, witch hunt. People lost their homes.
Chad, Chris,
And the
and
man
Chris!
that did it put on a crown and rode on an OPSEU float. Speak to it now!
What was the percentage of people who are actually
Hey,
fired over that?
can I answer the ombudsman thing?
For
Just
years,
so-
he's been sitting at home not getting paid.
Let me answer the ombudsman thing. We, corporate, said, do not go down that road, do not do it, and no one listened to us. No, but
Nobody listens to the president.
How's that possible?
well, they don't listen. Well, what can I do? You know, anyway.
Nothing is what you can do. So then point the finger at who put him on the float.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Who put him on the float then? Point the finger at
What's that?
who put him on the float.
The committees that invited them, not me. All right, listen, there was It was the duly elected equity committees that are in the Constitution. They invited them and they put them on the float.
And who are the members of that committee? Their names. Why not?
Who's the chair of the committee?
Who's the chair of the committee?
I don't know.
What about our overtime? Paying OPSEU dues, extra OPSEU dues for the overtime we work. How about that? We show up to rallies and then we get voted for everything.
I have a really tiny question.
All right, sister, say it. Say it.
I have a really naive question for the board and for you too. I've been paying union dues for 25 years. In my nativity, I thought you guys were supposed to represent me and my brothers and sisters. You're not representing me. I watched you at divisions. You walked out on us. You wanted nothing to do with us.
All right, the sister still has the floor.
When is this executive board going to start representing these members who all pay double the union dues of anybody else, which you voted for? That was your decision.
How do you figure double?
I pay more union dues on my overtime than nobody else does.
$1,500, that's big money, man. $1,500 a year to this shithole.
Are you
We're tired of this.
What is that? What we're trying to do, but it's not that
It's easy to get us out. It happens with OPSEU, didn't it? It happens with OPSEU, didn't it?
No, that was, I was around that. That was.
You haven't even started.
We have, actually, that's not true.
You'll get another committee on that.
Premier says that she wants us to.
Tell her to put it right. No, she said.
Well, you know what? I'm asking you to represent
All right.
us.
So the Premier says she wants you to have your own collective bargaining group.
No, she said 2008. They said bring it.
Well, now hold on. So what did she say exactly? Because I just had something.
She said bring it forward. She said for you to do that. She said
you won't meet with me. What did I tell you?
She said I will direct my people to bring it to the table. You direct Smokey to do the same. And that's what we expect.
All right. Okay.
It was brought to the last table.
Knowing that, right? No, but knowing that, right? I am not on bargaining team. So.
You don't care the politics. You just want it to happen.
You can fight for a Corr Only agreement and you say you are.
But you don't seem to understand.
And if you fight for it and you lose, I can live with that.
All right.
But what I see is we're not fighting for it.
Don't give them that
Every
out.
one of these members, every one of these members is willing to go out and kick stones. Every one of these members is going to whatever rally you want. We'll go down and you want right now. We'll go down to Queens Park. We'll walk through the fucking front doors and we'll take over legislature. Yeah. If you're willing to fight for it. But we're not going to not fight.
All right. So listen to me carefully. I've been around a long time, right?
All right, do it. Let's listen.
Listen, I've been around. I like what you're saying. I do. And I don't disagree with anything you're saying.
People for president.
No, let me talk.
Let him talk.
Hey, come on, guys. Let me talk. So, I've been talking with Chris, right? So what I said to Chris was, why don't we get a meeting with Yazzer? Because some people have went after him. I've went after him when I've seen him, right? He says he's not opposed. So I said to him, all right, say that publicly, right? He hasn't, right? He hasn't said it publicly. But I said, in the meantime, start fixing some of the problems in the jail.
She has. She
So
said it publicly.
what we'll do is we'll ask.
His boss said it.
No, he's got to say.
Finish.
So Chris and I are talking. So I said to Chris, how about this? It's time to get a meeting with Yazoo Nakvi. So I'll take Tom O'Neill Monty Visselmeyer, Chris, I'd like to take Chris, because I've been in meetings before Chris, and myself, and we'll go meet with Yazzer. No, let me finish.
I'm gonna take Chad also.
Who else?
You can own, the government, and this is, will you let me talk? The government will usually only let 2 people into a meeting. I can get 4. When Elgin Middlesex blew up, we got in about 8 people, right? Because they wanted to fix the problem. Hey, hang on, I'm trying to offer you a way forward, so if you don't want it, just say so, right? No, here it is. So, we start with that meeting with Yazzer, then we ramp up the campaign. No. Oh, well, you say you're willing to fix it.
I say you all look around this table and then never get our hands. Corr Only is our voices here now. Look around the table. Our voices here now. Speak up.
Spend some money.
Speak up around the table.
Now.
We want to speak up around the table.
In any event, you've got some offers to think about. So 7 people on the ad hoc committee, right, which is meeting and working. Whether you believe it or not, they are working. The work is being done. Hang on, the work is being done.
What have they done? Let's hear it back.
That's good. What have they done?
Share it.
Nobody's heard anything that's been done. Nobody even knows who's on the committee.
I just told you. Did you not listen? I told you 3 times. Who's on the committee? Who did I say was on the committee?
Say it again. Today. This is the first we've heard of anybody on the committee. Now you're saying the committee's been working. What have they done?
I said that about 3 times earlier.
So what have they done, Smokey? Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
All right.
Let's hear what they've done.
I kept getting shouted down, so it's hard to make myself heard. You guys are doing to me what I do to the government. When I get that.
Well, sure you do. I like a second government. Net zero forever.
Anyway, so the committee that got struck through the board motion, all that kind of stuff, right? So we started, we have an in-house lawyer who went back, reviewed everything. The goal of the committee is to get a process, because here's what the government keeps saying to me. What is a corrections-only agreement? Because there are a lot of different opinions on what a Corr-Only agreement is. Well, I need a process, right? You need a process that we can say is done by a third party, done neutrally. No, let me finish. To survey the membership involved. So that, let me finish. That includes, because inside.
Corr Only.
Yeah, well, but I hear that, but there are some people that in PNP that want to be in. There's some
Let them vote. Let them vote.
I'm trying to tell you where we're at. So, for me to go to the government and say, yes, you know what, now's the time you change the regs, now's the time to do the legalities necessary, with making sure we tie it up tight enough that there aren't unintended consequences for you. Right? So they're not, I do not want unintended consequences for you. But I also gotta know with as much certainty as possible who is in that group.
The frontline staff.
No, that's your opinion. But listen. That's your opinion, brother, but there are 100 others.
No, that's not.
I'm pretty sure the people that are here are the people that work in it every day.
Sept already identifies some of our unified members as corrections division in our bargaining unit. And then grievance department buried that in a classification grievance. Shame.
I don't want that to be true. You can offer me proof if you like.
We all got grievances.
We got a member in the room that falls into that category.
But listen.
That's under sexual uniform.
Council, these guys are going to come in, right? No, I'm pretty sure he dealt with it. He dealt with it. He dealt with it. I'm pretty sure I did.
No, Smokey, I understand what you're saying.
No, but let me finish. Let me finish, all right? Let me finish.
I only have one question. I just want a question answered.
All right.
Everybody here is talking. I just need a question answered. Do you understand why we want this? Everybody here is passionate, saying the same thing without saying it. I need to understand that the board members at this table understand why we want this. Do you guys understand? I need to know that they need that question answered. Do you know why we want this? Do you know why people out here in the sun on their days off? Do you know why we want this? You guys don't understand. Why do we want this? I want you guys to answer that question.
Alright,
Why?
answer.
I want you guys to know. We've been yelling at you forever. I want you now to answer my question. You understand now why we want this?
Our job is different!
The
You've been listening to us. So you've been listening to us.
Yeah.
All the board members here have been listening to us. So now I want you guys, I want to make sure that you're hearing what we've been saying. I just want you now to tell me why we want this.
Yes, and you've asked me 3 times. Can I answer now?
Since 1979, we've been wanting this.
Yeah. All right, no. So if, and I'm sure you'll correct me if I get it wrong, or if I have it wrong. And my this group, which represents the broader group, wants an officers-only corrections division. Would I be correct in that?
Yes!
Is that correct? All right. So, all right.
Correctional workers.
All right. So that helps to clarify things, but there's still a process we have to do. No, hang on a second.
Let him finish. I don't want to hear a politician. You have to answer the question. Action. Why do we want it?
Yeah, I know why you want it, so you can advance your interests,
I
which is
understand
legitimate.
exactly what you're saying, Smokey, that there's members in our division that don't want a Corr-Only agreement.
There are
That's
some,
what you're
yeah.
saying. Yes,
Yeah.
there are some.
Let him answer the question, because you still
The
haven't
majority
answered the question.
rules.
I was trying to answer the brother's question.
So, if there's 6,000 members in the corrections division, and you take your vote, and 5,000 say yes, we want it, and 6,000 say no, we don't,
1,000.
are you suggesting that we don't go?
No, that's clarity. That's clarity. That answers the question for me to say to the government. Because it's
Vote next week. Let's vote next week.
Tomorrow. Let's vote
I have a question, Smokey. If the Premier, who is the head of the government, wants it, Smokey Thomas, who's the president of OPSEU, wants it, subordinates follow direction, why would this not get done?
Because elected...
We do what we think is right.
All right, the first, all right, so say I acted unilaterally. The first group to kick me in the shins or wherever you want to kick would be this group. Would be this group. And I say that with confidence, and rightly so. That's why I don't act unilaterally. That's why that vote, if it's clear, no, but hear me out. I can go to the government with Monty Biselmeyer, with Tom O'Neill, and say, with certainty, here it is. All right, Premier, it's said to me that you had a conversation that was recorded, that you're in favor of it. Put that in writing. Let's start that process to get it done. But I have to be able to, listen, I have to be able to answer their questions with surety and certainty, because they don't trust us, we don't trust them.
You've lost us. If you've been paying attention, why do we want the agreement?
You want to vote,
Look
right?
around the table. There is a question.
What was the question? You're all yelling. All right, I was trying, and
Try harder. You repeated it back. You said it 3 times. You should be remembering what we want. 10 seconds. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down.
Why?
You can't do it right now. Wouldn't be binding.
We're not leaving until you do.
Well,
Why don't you vote?
Why don't you do both?
Do the vote. Do the committee, because you're going to do the committee anyway. Once you do both, get the vote started and get your committee together. Half's going to say no, half's going to say yes. Get us to vote. Do both things at the same time, simultaneously. Do that. Is that wrong?
We voted for a president. Listen to our president now. Listen to our president.
Mr. Thomas, I'm Gary Hawk from Metro East. I've sent numerous emails to all the EBMs and yourself and your staff, thousands, like the last year and a half.
Yeah, I
And
know
we got
that.
one response on the Shapiro report.
Yep.
Nothing on the Arthur's Commission, nothing on the arbitration for the paramedics, zero response. Zero response.
You hear, Gary?
Mr. Rappaport's book clearly states the bargaining system is not working for corrections.
Yep.
It's not working, sir. Yet never bloody well responded.
Well, what would you have me say?
Respond to the letters of
Yes.
something!
Alright.
Knowledge!
No.
Answer something!
Thanks, Gary.
Listen, all right, let me put it to you this
Mr.
way.
Honda, the Shapiro Commission said, this does not work for corrections, the current bargaining structure, because we're tied to the civil
And it
service.
takes two parties to change it, doesn't it?
No more politicians response!
But it takes two parties
Answer
to get
the
the government to
question!
change it.
Kathleen Wynne's opened the door. Go through
Yes,
the
and
door.
I agree with that, but she
Sorry,
won't be
Benedict.
with me. Did you not listen?
She said if you agree to it, she will talk to you.
Well, good. Dougie has their schedule calendar
Sir,
back.
Mr. Thomas, she's opened the door.
Yes, and
Walk
we're
through the
trying
door
to
and
go.
talk to her.
And we're trying to go through it.
I'll go with you. Talk to her.
So,
No, you didn't.
hang on, I'm trying. So,
More tomorrow.
so can I go back and try and give a clear answer to the brother?
Yes, that's here.
All right, so to the brother at top, yes, I said my understanding is that you want your agreement, your own collective bargaining agreement, your own contract for correctional officers only. Why? I'll ask the brother at the top to respond. Am I correct?
No, he asked you.
All right, let him talk. Let him talk.
Small talk. You've answered the first part, you didn't answer the second.
All right.
That part is why.
Why? And I answered that. I said before people were shouting me down, so you can advance the interests of your division for your division only. So that you can get the employer to a table. Get the union. Hang on. Could I finish my answer? Thank you very much. So am I wrong? And Or how have I got it wrong?
Because the mechanism that you're using is a committee structure, and we have been screwed by two committees that have been struck for this same goal. The first one met once in 14 months. What an insult to intelligence. The second one contains people who in the convention 2014 stood up in front of 1,200 conveners, identified themselves as correctional workers, and condemned the concept of Corr Only. My question is, how do you expect us to take you seriously if you have people who condemn the process or the goal sitting at the table in committee structure to achieve that goal? Ridiculous.
Mr. Thomas.
I'm still trying to hear why.
Are here. They will speak first. If you want quiet, our local presidents.
We voted for them.
Our local presidents.
There are votes.
Yes.
There are votes.
They are.
They're a bargaining team right there.
Well, I don't hear them talking much. I hear all you.
There they are.
Hold on a second. I want to say something. I want to say something. Hold on. I want to say we've been without a contract since January. All right, and every time I turn around, I'm getting told that we're at an impasse.
We have no information.
We're not. The corrections bargaining team, as I understand it, hasn't discussed interest bargaining since December of last year. You talk to people who say that they made wages the #1 issue that we negotiated at the corrections bargaining table. Okay, if you're not meeting in a year, how are we supposed to get our issues advanced? How are we supposed to get heard? Who's fighting for us? You guys say you want to fix the problem in corrections? I suggest that you don't know what those problems are. Okay?
My brother, I would suggest.
Who's fighting for corrections? Why is the corrections bargaining team, hold on, why does the corrections bargaining team have to walk away at impasse with Central Unified? I fear it happens. I haven't been told that, but I'm fearing that's going to happen.
Sorry, that didn't happen. We bargained issues up until March. Central table went back to January.
March. No, not ESAs, Lord, not ESAs.
No, they were done issues bargaining at Central in January. And we continued to try to bargain issues with the employer until March. That's when we started arguing.
And if I understand it correctly, the last pass went to the employer, and you're waiting for their response for your pass to them.
Is that about an all-out?
No, the last pass.
Yeah.
The last pass for issues bargaining was our monetary package. We bargained all of the different issues, all of the articles in the collective agreement, and then we got to the last.
Well, you got. While you guys are doing this, while you guys are maneuvering around bargaining, you know, we're worried about Corr and Central. We're falling further down the rabbit hole here, right? Our work sites are a disaster, right? I know we're not, but this is about a Corr Only agreement as well, right? Our work sites are a disaster. We're not hiring. We've got no committees. It's a health and safety nightmare, right?
Okay,
There's weapons everywhere.
safety
Hold on.
teams are both active.
That's not what I'm saying, Gordon. I'm saying we need a Corr Only agreement in order to advance our issues. That's what we need.
Smokey, we're talking about a broken process here.
What's that?
We're talking about a broken process here. The corrections bargaining process is completely broken. It has been for 12 years in our opinion. Hear me out.
Yeah.
You can disagree with me all you want, but this is a prime example, and this is why we want to change the way that we bargain and bargain on our own.
I get that.
This table, see, hold on, I'm not done. We have correctional officers in this room. And I know that I'm just going to get booed, and this is just because I don't like the guy, and I fully admit I don't like the guy. Who in here feels that Corr Only, the vice chair of our bargaining team, is on our side, is negotiating our demands and our issues? Let's see a show of hands. None! I made my point.
He's the guy that says go fuck yourself.
80% of the guys doesn't support the vice chair of our bargaining team, and we can't do anything about it because of the way the voting
The guy who was elected.
Not by us! Not by us!
That speaks to why, but that speaks to why you want your own agreement, correct?
Exactly.
I get it. However, I've been in the room. The corrections team has invited me down. I have gone and I've met with the corrections team. And I've listened to Gordy fight with me over me not understand. Yeah, actually get quite animated. He said, no, Smokey, you don't understand the issue of that.
He doesn't understand.
Well, by the way,
He just told his own members right now.
you weren't there with me, so
We were just here. He just told us to quiet down.
it's a nervous reaction to being
It's not a nervous reaction. He's laughing at us.
It's nervous reaction.
Question, you said,
It's not nervous.
you guys, you said,
You know he's not nervous. You a psychologist.
He just told him to quiet down.
We got a war with psychos.
I got a sister here. Go ahead.
you said that you needed to put this across, corrections only agreement, collective agreement across to the members as a vote.
Yes.
Can we please get a date that we can set up a vote? We can get, you do those silly little phone calls that I hang up on you all the time, no offense. We can vote in the locals. We can do all of that. That doesn't take a lot of work.
No, and I don't
We set
anticipate it
that
will.
up.
Sister, hold on. Sorry.
Let her talk,
I think the question was still why.
No, he
it's
answered
very
why.
easy. No, he did not. I'll tell you why. Because the people in Ministry of Health and Finance get to go to work every day, and they don't have to worry about people throwing shit in their face, getting stabbed, getting punched, getting verbally abused every day, and we have no backup. That's why my brothers and sisters put their life on the line every day that we go into work, and we are not getting taken care of. That's why. All right?
Listen up, please. I want to assume that the commitment from you is still on the table. 4 to a meeting, 7 on the committee.
Yep.
We choose our 7.
You guys take 5.
Correct?
Yeah. So I deal with you, Chris?
Yep.
Okay,
Everyone?
I can't
Everyone, please. I think we accomplished more than we intended today.
No, we didn't.
No, we did. No, we did.
Get a vote.
No, we did.
We want a date. We want a date.
For a vote.
Monday.
A date.
A date.
I can't give you one because you gotta get a third party to do it before Christmas for sure. October.
It's been 8 months now. Nothing has happened.
You want me to give you a date? I don't have a crystal.
Absolutely, before this contract.
Oh, that's up to party. Listen, I don't bargain. You keep bargaining, right? So if we get all that done, I don't anticipate your contract is going to be done.
Negotiate this contract.
In this contract.
We don't want 4 years from now.
Okay, I get where you're going now. I misunderstood.
We're not looking for 4
I get that, but that's partly up to you to try to get the majority working.
But we need a vote. If you want to vote,
That's why I want to do the process. So Tommy and Bonnie and everybody voted for it. So here you go, fuckers. Right? Here it is, black and white. Right? We did it the right way.
3 years ago, when we voted on that deal, we got to vote together in 2 days.
Yes, but over the last 3 years, it doesn't matter what I do, I get qualified by you. He reads the emails, the threats, the hates, why did they want security prevention, the death threats, whatever. So, no, but listen, I'm trying to help you, Scott. You won't let we're practicing.
I don't know what you guys do, let's be honest. I do not know what you guys do.
I should have. I know.
It's like you don't seem to know what
in this room. And I should have.
How long would it take?
So I gave
How long would it take for the executive board?
Yes, I know, but not from.
To have a vote by ballot for every person under the corrections umbrella right now. Right now. Right now.
Smoking, we send a ballot. We need this.
To have a ballot.
We don't
No, I get all that. Right now. But I can't give it to you. Right? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, every single corrections member. It's time.
Have I ever said no to anything the Corrections Division has asked for? Lawyers, all the extra. Never said it.
From like a third party.
Third party.
I feel like I get your frustration. You're being used by people. I started fighting government.
Third party.
I don't mind your country. You know how much more I understand now than I did before?
How long? 2 decades?
All I'm saying
Smokey!
I would back and go further. Go ahead.
Question.
Wait.
Are you willing to go to jail when we all walk out?
As long as you guys take care of me. And they gotta find me, right?
Smokey, turn around and see the sign. Taking Back Ontario. Take the damn sign. It's called Taking Back Corrections. Starting today.
We're trying, sister. That's what today's about, isn't it?
See, we can't read. 2 weeks! You heard it, 2 weeks!
You're the guy I want to talk to you about.
In 2014, the convention saw 90% vote down our 2 resolutions, representing 10%. We protested. Shortly thereafter, you sent us a 5-page letter in which you said that you had to comply with the majority of OPSEU corporate. That means to you, you told us verbatim, even if the government offered you Corr Only, I would not allow the team to accept it. That letter is posted on the Second Reform Group website for everybody to see, and I can't believe the commitment we're getting now with 150, 200 blue shirts in the room, because as soon as the majority goes over to 90% corporate and 10% us, you're going to stand up and tell us the same spiel. You've got to comply with the majority of OPSEU corporate, and you're not going to give us what you're telling us you're going to give us today. That's why committees have been rigged. That's why their parts busted for their asses. Get down here,
Smokey, I've been to, I don't know, 5 or 6 conventions. I've never had a debate on the floor that's changed my mind, because most of you know I'm a pretty big header.
I make up my mind and I stick with it. This last convention was the first time I ever had my mind changed at that convention. There was a motion on the floor about how we elected for, I believe it was the, I'm not even sure, we have so many committees, it was the Aboriginal Circle or the Women's, something to do with that. And I had my mind made up that, no, absolutely not. It's a democratic process. We vote on who's going to be on that committee. And there was a sister from somewhere in Region 6, I believe, that got up and spoke on it. And she changed my mind. Because what she said was, why would somebody that's not Aboriginal have a say in how the Aboriginal committee goes forward? And it changed my mind. Everybody got up and applauded for her because the point that she made, she was bang on. But when Correction stands up and says, we just want to be able to negotiate everything that affects us because we're different than everybody else and we want to go forward on that. And, you know, we're a bunch of meatheads and Neanderthals and we shouldn't do things. This is what you trained us to do, Smokey. I've actually taken classes put on by you and how to do things like this. You know, I put up little silly pictures of you with you guys and that's what we do. Okay? But what that sister said is exactly why we're here. Nobody else in the OPS should be able to vote on something that affects us that we really that we really have no say in, especially when it comes to things like LTIP, WSIB. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't affect the OPS, but it definitely affects us more.
No, but you're right about that, but they're trying to fight all that stuff up, right? So.
But they're willing to take concessions that we're not.
Well, how do you know that? How do you know that? The team has no concessions. They have not wavered. I went back with them yesterday. They have not wavered.
Mr. Thomas. We're one of Mr. Thomas.
Hang on. All right.
Thank you. Mr. Thomas, again, I'm going to bring back the same point. A person filing government paperwork gets what, 11 sick days from a paper cut. I wrestle people for it.
See, that's offensive, brother. That's offensive from a paper cut. That's no, hear me out. No, but finish up. But it's not. They don't take 11 days off from the paper.
I'm not saying they do.
Well, you just did.
Can I finish my sentence?
Yes.
They get way more sick days than we do, correct? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. They're trying to shove that down their throats right now, plus all the other
And no one's
They get the same number of sick days. It's a different process how they're. They get the same number.
No, they get more. A clerk
don't.
No, we get.
Show me in the collective agreement.
We get 7 days. No, it's the internal program that's
get more sick days. I know the teachers will certainly do. Okay? Teachers and clerks do not have to wrestle people with every virus known to man. They don't have to go in there and have poo thrown in their face, for lack of better words, for them up to use. Okay? And then we get charged. We get all kinds of fun actions taken on us for defending ourselves.
And the union has been there to defend each member every time.
Okay.
You're right about that. Smokey, I'm taking the side of this one. This union has spent tens of thousands. I agree with that. You're sending me to fight for my job. I agree with that. He's absolutely right on that. They have spent the money to defend us when we've been terminated.
You tell me about that.
I will.
Being terminated is the only reason we need a lawyer.
Did you tell me last time?
No. We hire lawyers for all kinds of things.
I just want to know when the last time a clerk got feces out of their peg when they got their piss thrown. I just want to know because you know
what's that?
It happened to me.
When
was the last time a clerk got
all right. Let me give you my history. I worked at Kingston Psychiatric Hospital all my adult life. I've had a chunk of scalp tore out. I've been kicked in the nuts numerous times. I had to sit with those bean bags around my frozen bags around my balls for 3 days before I could stand. I've had a finger poked in my eye, or the pus ran out of my eye for 3 weeks, and you know what I got out of that? 1 day off, and the fucking employer said,
So when did the
Here he is. When you go in, the Ministry of Labor has a division dedicated solely to developmental services because of all the assaults on them. So, all I tried to say to people at convention is try and be inclusive in fighting violence. That's just one piece of advice I give you, right?
So someone gets killed, Smokey.
We have.
Someone gets killed.
No, well then again, we're trying to fight it, right? You're fighting an employer that won't spend a nickel on you.
Question, when you said you hire lawyers?
Yeah, we do, yeah.
You put out a press release in 2012 stating that we don't have basic legal rights when we see CSU. Stan would put out a press release authorized by OPSEU saying we do not have basic. Yes, his name's at the bottom of it.
All right, send me the press.
I sent it to you.
All right.
Will
you acknowledge it?
Legal rights.
Go back to essential
Right, right, hold on. We don't have basic legal rights. That press release went out 3 years ago. Have you done a court challenge? Because I saw CSU about a year ago. I didn't have a lawyer.
Gary, I don't remember, but I'll follow up.
It's on the OPSEU site. April 18th, 2012.
All right, so.
Hold on. The headline is we don't have basic legal rights. But you just said to hire lawyers. We do not have lawyers now for CSU investigations.
Part of that
have you done a charter challenge on that? Have you done a charter challenge at Sept? No, rights.
Who's here from Elgin Middlesex? Who's here from Elgin Mill? Did I ever say no to any of the lawyers for the brothers and sisters that have been suspended?
Not me.
There you go. Right? Thank you. And this executive board, every time I come and say, we need to put another $5,000 into that law firm that's representing a member, the votes have unanimously always been yes. So we do, listen, we do try, we do everything yes. But let's go back to the Corr Only stuff. So I'd like to kind of recap, figure out maybe a way forward, right? So, 7 people on the committee. I'm going to we'll write the minister today. I don't write the letter. Somebody will draft the letter asking for a meeting. That'll be Dan, Tom, myself, and Chris. All right. So we'll try to. All right. Come down here and stand here for a few minutes and try and keep it all straight.
So the country putting the cart before the horse. Shouldn't we have a vote first to decide yes or no?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Want the vote.
Want the vote. Clear language.
Want the vote. You should have a vote.
That's right, Smokey. We're staying till you vote.
We're going to have a vote first to decide where we go.
I heard 2 weeks from Eddie. And he's saying 2 weeks.
Oh, no, wait. What? So once the committee's going to pick a neutral third party to conduct the vote, so it's,
who's on the committee?
We get the numbers, but not.
How about we come back next week and see how the committee's doing, Smokey?
Brother, assure you you can come back anytime you want. Sure you do.
We will. Let's make it happen.
I do count on it. I do count on
the
it.
agenda for today. Here.
Mr. Thomas, are your views, can we be safe to say that your views are OPSEU views? When you speak, are you speaking on behalf of OPSEU?
Well, there are a lot of elected leaders I don't know that I represent on every issue, every statement.
For you.
What's that?
What is your belief on binding arbitration versus the right to strike? What do you support? Do you support binding arbitration or the right to strike?
Here's what I support. Now hear me out. Because because it's a democratic union. Right? No. See, there you go. You're killing me out already.
Go ahead.
How do I answer when you tune me out? You're not.
I'm just asking for an A or B. What do you support? Right to strike or binding arbitration?
Depends on the division.
Correction.
All right. This is my. All right.
Come on, Bill Clinton, cough it up.
This is my personal belief.
Can
I answer?
Listen, are you able?
Yes, I think binding arbitration would work better for you. But you need the government to agree to that, don't you?
You support it?
I will. All right, listen. In a democratic process which gives every corrections member, the right to have a blind vote so that there's no intimidation, it's secret. No, hang on. Let me finish. If that is the will of that division, that is what we would pursue. But what I've tried to tell you all day long is we have had trouble trying to get to where we can get a process to do that kind of vote. The first
Our local leaders want to be outside.
Let's go.
The first vote would be right Corr Only. Then Corr Only decides if they want to pursue arbitration. You won't get arbitration for this contract unless.
Smokey, who's on that committee? You got 7 people on the committee. Who's on it?
It's up to Chris to pick. Well, yeah, it's up to
Your
the group.
ad hoc committee?
Yeah, it's up to the group to pick. I just want to talk to one person. Chris said he'd be. No, there is on now. I'm offering a 7 seat for the Corr Only group.
One board wanted to got voted in because there's way more VMT there. That's great. You tell me that.
You wanted me to tell you how I got screwed over.
2009, found an inmate hanging. In resuscitation, he died. Oh well. A year later, management tried to fire me. It was about 16 deaths that I've been involved with.
Hey, brother.
How you doing? So, long process short, very long. Once you get to the nature of the fire, it was totally worse.
Fight that once the match is
Once you get there.